Hey guys, Rod Rivera here. As you can see, I already finished the 90-day challenge, and the results just speak for themselves, right? I look like another person. I don't have the belly fat I used to have. I mean, there's a long way to go, but I didn't do a calorie deficit at all. I didn't even follow a strict diet like I showed you in a lot of my videos. During the week, I try to eat as healthy as possible, breakfast and lunch. Sometimes at dinner, I cheat. I order something from outside, from restaurants, you know, or eat something greasy like a homemade burger at night. I know you're not supposed to eat like that at night, but I do, because if I don't eat like heavy at night, I wake up in the middle of the night hungry. And this is what happens when you start training with my strength training program. There's two constants in the strength training program, which is something that will happen. One is not every day. Some days will happen and some days will not. But the other one is a constant that will accompany you in your fitness journey. The first constant is constant pain. Okay, and I'm not talking about bad pain here. For anyone that has done exercise, you know that after doing exercises or running for a while, it hurts. For the first few days, it hurts. When your body starts getting used to it, then it hurts a lot less, right? It depends on the resistance you already have, and if you're going to go further to improve your resistance. Because if, for example, you run for a mile and then you get used to running for a mile and then you run 2 miles, then your body's going to hurt again, because your body's not used to that. It's used to running a mile, it's not used to running 2 miles. And that's how progressive overload works. That's how I've been doing it, right? I've been doing exercises slowly with low weights, as you can see in some of the squats that I've been doing. I started doing them because I injured my knee. I started doing them assisted. I couldn't do one squat when I started. You can see it in the videos, in the first videos that I put in YouTube on how to recover from a patellar tendon injury, right? So I recovered from that, and then I had to start slowly walking, like, once again from zero, from scratch, But if you keep the discipline, now I can squat. Yesterday I did an Olympic bar squat with 245 plates, and I did them deep and well done, ass to grass. So I'm getting there. I used to squat. My best squat was 400 pounds, and now I'm almost getting to 200 pounds. So that's incredible after this injury, especially considering that I, because of two freak accidents, I can't call them any other way. Two freak accidents, I injured both of my knees. The first one was in 2018, and I injured playing soccer. And the bad thing about this injury is that I started recovering, and then I fell again when I started recovering. So I injured again. So this knee, I have two surgeries in this knee because of that accident. It was playing soccer, okay, and the field was a plastic field, as fast soccer field, and they used plastic grass, so it's very slippery, and it was wet because it's not indoors, it's outdoors. So I'm a recommendation for anybody that plays in soccer field: don't run in wet plastic grass. And two, try to play in soccer fields that are indoors if they're fast football or fast soccer, because you don't want that to happen to you, because the field was outdoors and it was wet, but it wasn't raining at the moment, but it was completely wet. I didn't notice that until it was too late. So I started running, and then I kicked the ball, and then I just kept on one leg. So I slipped on one leg, and then the leg like pressed against the floor, and then the leg just went off. My knee went off. So that was a freak accident. And the other one was the most recent one on the right. I was crossing the street, man. I was crossing the street, and I was looking at the a street if cars were coming or not, and then I didn't see that there was a big boulder. Some construction people left the big boulders where they mixed the cement, right, and everything. So I slipped on the boulder, and there was this edge on this boulder. So I fell on the knee against the edge of that boulder. So I didn't even feel that. Like I fell down, and I was like, okay, I fell. I stood up, and when I stood up, I couldn't put my feet on the ground, and that's how I know that I really, really injured myself real bad. So I have both of my knees injured, and that hasn't really stopped me from having the progress that I said that I was gonna have. Now it could have been better. Yes, it could have been better if I used both of my legs. So that's what I'm gonna do this 3 months that are coming, right? This next 3 months, you're gonna see me using the legs, and you're gonna see this skinny ass legs become a little bit heavier, muscular, and bulkier and stronger, right? And I'm gonna be showing the progress in the strength too, because I haven't really emphasized that, but I'm a lot stronger than when I started. When I started, for example, I could do 3 pull-ups. Now I can do 10 without stopping. 10 pull-ups. And that's because I already decreased weight on my body, right? I lost 10 pounds. So with 10 pounds less, the pull-ups become easier because now it's more muscle and less fat. So the muscle helps to do the pull-ups. The fat is just dead weight, you know? So eventually I will have to do, if I keep losing weight like that, I will have to do pull-ups with assisted weight, with a belt and weight hanging from me, and doing the pull-ups to progress the pull-ups, right? Because I can do muscle ups, which I've shown a video of me doing muscle ups in the past. When I did those muscle ups, I was 150 pounds. I'm right now 188, and I was 200 pounds almost 200 pounds when I started. You can see the belly in the videos. It was a huge belly. I was almost 200 pounds. All right, and I'm 5'7". Okay, that's my height, 5'7". I'm not that tall. I'm a short king. Okay, so what can I tell you? I'm heavy. I'm still heavy. So I don't expect to be when I was 150, right? I don't expect to be that way. I'm gonna get that fit, but I'm gonna be heavier, right? I'm gonna have more muscle, so I'm not gonna be that lean, right? But I'm still gonna be that muscular. So that's the objective, and I'm gonna show it to you for the next 3 months. So we're going from month 3 to month 6, and I'm gonna keep doing the same thing, recording day by day the progress, so you see it's in real time. Because there's other fitness coaches that show the before and after, and they say, oh, I did it in 3 months or whatever, and it's been years. And the difference between picture number 1 and picture number 2, it's been a time frame that they're lying to you guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been 3 months. I've been showing day by day the progress, day by day, and you can see from day 1 to day 2, you will not see any changes. But after you see the progression of the days, day 1 after day 30, day 1 with day 60, and you compare day 1 with day 90, then you can see the difference, right? Because it's not going to be the next day. It's going to happen over time, and that's what I'm telling you. I'm just constructing the base right now. The 3 months have been to construct the base for the other 3 months, and you can achieve a lot in 1 year. I'm going to show you by the end of this year, if I don't get injured or any freak accident, God forbid, I don't get another freak accident, then I'm gonna keep training. And if I don't stop training for 1 year, you're gonna see the change will be massive. Now, after the year, the progress in the physical changes will be a lot slower, because then I will be advanced. And when you become an advanced like athlete, then the progress becomes slower, and you have to do more in order to get a less muscle, because it becomes harder to get more muscle. And that's where you're gonna start eating a lot. Like, there's a point where I will be burning so much calories that I will have to overeat. I will have to do an effort to eat that much in order to maintain my muscle. And that's why I want to teach you guys that you can keep eating how you guys are eating, as long as you start training and building muscle and building strength. As when you start building muscle, over time, the muscle will catch up to your calorie intake, unless you're eating, well, too many calories. Now, that depends, right? Depends on your body fat. And that's why it's a personalized training for every person, because every person has different needs. A person that has, for example, 300 pounds and is a tall person, is it's gonna be far more difficult for that person to do a push-up than for me, that I'm 5'7", right? So a smaller person, for a smaller person to do a pull-up or a push-up is a lot easier than for a person that is very overweight. And that's why the custom training must be the specific for your needs. Because I'm going to show you all the exercises that from beginner to advanced, but you have to know specifically in what level you are on, right? And that will depend on you and your discipline and your consistency and your will to change your body, right? Because nothing comes for free. Everything is, you have to work for it. I'm just going to show you the blueprint and the recipe for your work not to be wasted, right? Because there's nothing worse to go to the gym, and I'm telling you, I see it constantly. I go to the gym, I see this person, and I have seen him for a while, when I was training beforehand, because I just resumed training. And by the way, I'm talking about that same person. I just saw that same person yesterday. I went to the gym, and that same person has the same physique that he had 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago when I was still training. That's crazy, guys. You can't be training for 6 years, going to the gym for 6 years, and not seeing any physical progress at all, or any strength progress either. I mean, the guy's doing the same routine, the same weights he was doing 6 years ago. Good God. So there's a lot of misconceptions around training. You can't be doing the same routine over and over and over again and expect results. That's just gonna maintain you, and that's what that guy has been doing. And I'm pretty sure he's not, he doesn't have the best physique ever. And I'm pretty sure he wants to get a better physique. I'm sure he's not just training that way to maintain his physique, right? Because there's other people that train the same to maintain their physique because they don't want to get more muscular or whatever, but they already have a good physique. They just want to maintain that good physique. But this guy, I don't want to be mean, but he doesn't have a good physique. So I'm pretty sure, and there's a lot of people in my gym that are in the same place as this guy, and I'm pretty sure you can relate. You go to the gym, you see these people, you don't know them, but you see them, right? Because they're regulars at your gym. So you see them, and you see them day by day, and they're training their ass off. I'm not saying that this guy is not training. This guy trains his ass off because I see him sweating and stuff. But I mean, he's not getting the results. So I don't want you guys to be that person that goes to the gym and gets unmotivated to do exercise because you're like doing the work, putting on the work, you're sweating a lot, but you're not seeing the results, and you're just like, there's no point in working out, because I don't see the results. What's the point of like doing this hard work for nothing? And that's what I'm telling you. You have to be intelligent. It's not hard to go 3 times a week to the gym, 3 or 4 times a week. And if you don't have a gym, you can work out at home. I will show you all the workouts right next to my bed. I will record them right next to my bed. Okay, so you can see that you don't need a lot of space. If you have a bed, which I'm sure you all have, then you can use your bed as leverage. And I'll show you how to do exercise using your bed. So there's no excuse, guys. Like, if you, before you go to bed, you can put 15 minutes of work, of training, of some exercises if you're really busy. Because I really recommend doing exercise before eating. What I do is I go at night. I go to the gym at night. I'm not a morning person, so I always go to the gym at night. And then I before dinner, so I train. And if I was leaner, because right now I'm still fat, I'm a little bit fat. If I was leaner, then I would take a protein shake immediately after training, and then I would come home to eat dinner, right? So that protein, those calories will recover my body immediately, and then I would shower. I mean, and then I would do the rest of the routine and go to bed, right? So it's important that you eat after training. That is vital. That is super, super important. I told you in a video before that there was this guy that didn't eat after training, and he thought that he was going to lose weight that way, and he hasn't. He's one of the cases that I'm talking about. I just saw him yesterday again in the gym. This is another person, and I do know him, but I'm not going to tell him that, right? I mean, he's training his way, and I respect his training, but he looks the same. And he's one of the regulars, so I'm talking about years. He looks the same for years, and that can't be. If you're putting the work, you can't be looking the same. I mean, there's a difference, because I'm talking about people that aren't that old. They're in their 40s. I'm 34. I mean, and they're in their 40s, right? I mean, someone that is in his 60s or 70s, I would say, okay, it's harder to advance at that age. And even then, you can still progress a lot. You can see the before and afters of some people that are very advanced in age. I saw this video of this old lady that started weight training at 79 years old, and she's 84 now, and she looks completely different. I mean, and so age is not an excuse, and it shouldn't be. And if you don't know how to start training, because you can start training even if you have pains and aches. I already said in a video before that those pains and aches are because you are weak. That's it. So you need to strengthen your body, and you can still strengthen it at a very old age. That is not an excuse. Of course, you're going to go slower than someone that is 19. I mean, the ideal age, by the way, for people to start training is 13. Okay? Strength training, at least. You can do calisthenics before that. I mean, if you start training, for example, in a discipline, judo, karate, or whatever, or sports, tennis, soccer, kids should start at 6 at the most, in order to become skilled at that sport or discipline, right? Because if you look at, for example, soccer, I love soccer, And I love Messi. And if you see Messi, he started playing soccer at the age of 5. He was already playing at Barcelona by the age of 17. So, you can start training very young in order to become skilled, right? And weight training, I recommend for guys to start at 13 and for girls to start at 15. Okay, guys at 13 because that's when puberty hits, and with the help of puberty, that's a hormonal impulse, that's a hormonal boost, and that's how you can see this freaks of nature, this young people now, 19 years old, 18 years old, and they're ripped. I saw this video of this kid, Julian Fitness, I think, and he's 18 years old, and he looks like he's pumped on steroids. Like I'm like, it's incredible. He has an incredible physique, and I'm not saying he's on steroids. I think he has incredible genetics first, but he's probably started training at the age of 13, just like Larry Wheels, for example, another freak of nature. So if you start training at 13, then the possibilities are limitless. Now, I started late because I had been told this myth that if you started weight training, you would get smaller in height. Okay, this is a complete myth, because if this was true, then NFL players would be very small, and they're not small. You just have to eat. That's what happens, because maybe it happens to people that don't eat enough. Then they start weight training when they are young and they don't eat like they have to eat. And then they, of course, they don't have that height spur, that increase in height, because believe it or not, nutrition is very important at that age. Nutrition aids to get to the best level you can be in puberty, right? If you have tall genetics, you will be tall whatever you do. But if you eat right, you have the right nutrition, then those tall genetics, that will be the difference between being 6'3" and 7, right? 7 feet. So I'm saying that person that has tall genetics will be tall no matter what. Okay? So it's because of his genetics, but those genetics can be boosted by nutrition. That's what I'm saying, and this is why nutrition is so important. I haven't touched the topic of nutrition because most people don't have an idea of the crap they're eating, and I'm gonna show you how to eat properly. Okay, because I already said in another video that I'm gonna concentrate in the training first. I'm gonna show you the exercises, the progressions, everything, and after doing that, concentrating in that, I will do some portions of nutrition in the middle of that, but I will not concentrate in nutrition at first, because you have to know how to exercise first, because you have to go step by step. I've seen so many people try to improve their exercise. I mean, start doing exercises and improve their diet at the same time. And it always fires back. Like, people always drop it after 1 month or whatever, because it's too hard. You have to give yourself baby steps in order to progress. Start exercises, eat the same, and just start drinking water instead of drinking calories. And that will do a lot. And then when you start getting used to doing the exercise and you see the progress, then you start tweaking your diet in order to get to the next level. And you will feel a lot better when you start eating real food, organic food, nutritious food, no empty calories. Okay? So this is very important for you guys to know. Okay, after the 90 days, I finished already the 90 days. I'm going to follow up the challenge with the 180 days and the 365 days. So I'm going to keep showing you the progress day by day. And if you've been impressed by the change I already made in the 3 months, which I think could have been better because I didn't use the legs, but it's okay. It's part of the progress. By the 6th month, my change will be incredible. I mean, if I start using my legs, which I am already using, the next 3 months will be amazing compared to this 3 months that already passed. So follow up, subscribe, and keep tuned because I will be giving the best fitness tips that all the other fitness coaches are keeping by for themselves, and they're giving you crap information. Okay, I will give you the real deal. This is the real deal, and I'm not joking around. You will get results in the first 3 months, guaranteed. Okay, but it becomes your choice, and you have to have the will and the discipline to do it. Okay, so follow up, subscribe in order to see the next progressions and see how I transform my body in the next 3 months.